What is going on to the AMC stock group? For those of you guys that have subscribed to the channel, you guys already know how many shares of AMC I have, and it would be completely irrational of me to keep these shares if there were to be a major market crash coming, not just for AMC, but for the entire general market. Now let's first go ahead and talk about the major index funds that controls the general market, and then I'm going to go over some really important statistics that will allow you guys to become better traders and investors of AMC stock, and I truly want to help you guys out. So before you guys panic sell about a market crash that everyone is talking about right now, let's just talk about the S&P 500 and then we'll go into some macroeconomics, and this will relate back to AMC, guys, do not worry. So if we go ahead and type in the SPY, we see that we are approaching historic highs. We are approaching almost the 450 mark on the S&P 500, and ever since we end up having this V-shaped recovery, we have just been on a steady upside. But let me not give all that credit to the S&P 500, because what ends up happening during the summer, it's not always going to be end up like this. However, we do see that the S&P 500 usually ends up having a dip around the summer of every year. And so I'm not saying that this summer the S&P 500 is going to dip, but I am going to be talking about some macroeconomics later in this video, and then hopefully that'll allow you guys to understand why some people are actually very fearful about what could be happening. So we just keep on continuing to see another high for the S&P 500, another record high in fact. And so yesterday we ended up closing actually at $427 a share. And so this was very interesting because, as you guys remember from yesterday, AMC also had one of its historic lows, right? Going from that $51 level all the way to $38 a share. You got more than 10 points in just a matter of one day. And actually, in the past 2 days, AMC fell way below and well below $10, right? $10 in the difference of share price. So that is what I'm trying to say. And so it makes sense, although it doesn't really make a lot of sense, because you see the S&P 500 drop just about from 435 to 427. Not that much in share price, although this is an index fund. So the drop in share price does kind of consist of a large magnitude in actual equity share prices. And so for equity share prices, you guys saw how much AMC ended up dropping, right? More than $10 a share. And so when you guys saw the S&P 500 have another leg up, going from 427 all the way to 435, what happened to AMC stock? Well, it did not even go that much higher. In fact, I think it actually went up lower on the day. And so my price target for AMC stock, and remember, this is not my ultimate price target, but every single day I try to make as close of an accurate price prediction for AMC stock, just so you guys can have a better understanding of what may happen to the stock. And remember, I am not a financial advisor, right? No one can really 100% accurately guarantee anything for any stock. And so my prediction for today, which was July 9th, was actually around the $44 range. I thought that would be the lowest of the lows for AMC stock, and this did not end up going there, right? It went to $45 a share instead of 44. But this is what I was saying, guys. Look at the SPY drop, and then that was yesterday too. So the gap fell to the downside. This was when the S&P 500 was at 427. Now it's at 435. What ended up happening today, right? Going from all the way from, what is this, $45 all the way up to $48 share, almost 49. And I actually think it did end up going to $49 a share, but that is besides the point. Now let's go ahead and talk about the Dow Jones. So this is not the actual Dow Jones. This is definitely not. And the reason why is because the Dow Jones is worth thousands upon thousands of dollars. And so look at this gap fill to the upside, guys. This is the exact opposite of what we saw just yesterday for AMC stock. And again, I am going to be talking about macroeconomics. I keep on repeating that, but we really need to talk because everyone is talking about a market crash. And so as we see a lot of these index funds increase in share price over the long term, because ever since just 1 year ago, all these index funds have been having just a V-shaped recovery to the upside, and it's just not stopping at all. You look at the Dow Jones, I'm actually going to pull up the chart right here, all the way from here, and it just looks like it has been going up steadily, right? This actually looks linear. This is one of the only chart patterns I have seen, including the S&P 500, that have just completely gone up in share price, and it is exactly linear. And so what I mean by that is, if you go all the way from the lows, it is just a straight line in it of itself. That is absolutely insane. AMC stock will be doing this soon, in my opinion. I'm just kidding, guys. I don't think any actual equity stock would end up doing this, although AMC did do this in the beginnings of its trading days. So what I mean by that is you cannot deny that this was definitely linear. It is not as linear as the S&P 500 and the Dow Jones, but again, you guys cannot deny the fact that it just went completely straight up. But that is also, I'm going to be talking about the price in a different video, but this video is about the market crash and is it dangerous to invest in AMC stock right now? Because I'm going to talk about the price in a later video. You guys already know how it works on this channel. I like to give you guys the most information so that you guys, as traders and as investors, can form your own sentiments for any stock, not just for AMC stock, and then hopefully that will help you guys. And so now that is enough talking about the S&P 500 and the Dow Jones. You guys get the point. The point that I was trying to make is that we have just been reaching historic highs. When is it going to stop? And what does this mean for AMC stock? Because AMC stock does not control the entire market. In fact, the S&P 500 and the Dow Jones control the entire market, or at least they're two of a lot of the overall controlling factors of the market. I know the other one is the Nasdaq, and then the other one is the QQQ, which controls tech. And so right off the bat, if we are going to be talking about any dangers or any warnings for AMC stock, first of all, I just want to say I do not think that AMC stock is in a major emergency zone or major warning zone, and that is because right now we are not in that August to really summertime range for AMC stock. And what do I mean by that, guys? So, as I was saying before, if you guys remember, I was talking about the fact that every time the S&P 500, and let me just pull up the chart right here, every time it goes to around the summertime, that is usually when we see a drop in the S&P 500. And so what can people do to prepare? Well, I certainly know what I'm doing to prepare, guys. I am trying to accumulate as many shares as I can, but not right now. That is why I did not add today, right? So if you go back to AMC, I did not end up adding today. And I'm just being quite frank, right? Because I end up adding over here, $38 a share. But do not get me wrong, we could see AMC stock go back down lower, not back to 38. I'm not saying it's going to go back to 38, but instead of $46 a share, it might go all the way back down to $43 a share, 42. These are just examples. And so, since I want to buy this stock and I want to accumulate as many shares as I can, I do not want to be buying it at these levels. What a lot of people are doing right now is they're trying to time the market because they think that in the summertime, and I'm talking about the August to September to October range, AMC stock, but not just AMC stock, but the entire general market will have somewhere to a 5 to 10% correction. The reason why I'm saying this is because not a lot of other people are talking about it, right? Or at least not a lot of people are talking about it in the AMC world, right? Everyone right now is going completely parabolic about the price, and I have been completely parabolic about the price too. My ultimate price targets, you guys already know, is extremely high on the stock. You guys already know that I am for the movement and that I have not sold a share of AMC stock, and I do not plan to sell a share of AMC stock. That would just not make any sense, in my opinion, and that would be completely irrational of me to do right now. Again, in my opinion. However, a lot of people are saying, and this is my opinion as well, that once we approach this August timeframe for the S&P 500 and the Dow Jones, you guys see that there's so much volume right now, but what ends up happening when everyone starts going back to their normal jobs? What ends up happening when the volume starts to decrease for a lot of these stocks? And that leads me to my next point. People are just expecting at this point to see some sort of an index fund correction. And I know I'm talking index funds, but really what I'm trying to say is the S&P 500. For those of you guys that do not know, the S&P 500 consists of the best 500 companies, or not the best 500 companies, but just the 500 companies that is in one group, right? Because that is called an index fund after all. And so right off the bat, let's go ahead and now talk about real estate. And so you guys may be wondering, what does real estate have anything to do with AMC stock? Well, guys, as I said, if AMC stock falls down, that is probably because it will have some sort of an effect because of a SPY, meaning that AMC will probably, in my opinion, be dependent off of the S&P 500. And obviously, if AMC has its own independent news, meaning let's say they do an offering, let's say they do a dilution, which I'm not saying they will, but this is just an example to keep you guys prepared. But if they say something that is completely independent of a stock, then of course AMC will either go up in share price drastically or go down in share price drastically by itself without the S&P 500 affecting it in any way. However, I'm also going to be talking about real estate. And so the reason why I want to talk about real estate is because that is another monetary sector, and the rate at which real estate homes are selling at is decreasing. But right now, what you guys are hearing is that the real estate market is booming, and that is extremely high, and that prices are surging. However, right now, we are actually seeing the price of real estate homes and the rate. It is rather the rate at which real estate homes are selling at is decreasing. That is something to definitely understand because that will probably give us a warning, but not a warning yet. Because again, I did not say that a warning was coming, tomorrow or next week for AMC stock. No, that is not what I'm saying. Again, I'm just trying to prepare the AMC stock group. I'm not trying to even create any FUD, guys. I'm not trying to create any fear, uncertainty, or doubt. I'm just letting you guys know that, in my opinion, we will probably have more opportunities to add on AMC stock, but not next week. If you guys want to know my price targets for next week and what I'm thinking about AMC is going to do next week, then make sure you guys subscribe because I'll be talking about videos specifically related to next week and my price targets for next week. But right now I'm talking about out in the future, right? Few weeks, few months. and who knows, even just a few years. And so I also want to talk about the Federal Reserve and their tapering. The reason why I said even a few years, right? Because again, I'm not talking about a near term for AMC stock. I do not think that AMC stock is going to have a crash in the next week, guys. That would just be completely irrational, as I said, because why would I be holding so many shares? But the reason why I was talking about a few years out and why AMC stock, but not just AMC stock, the general market could see some sort of crash is because the Federal Reserve is talking about tapering in 2022 to 2023 earlier than expected. So that is just another thing that I wanted to mention. And so I'm going to be talking more about macroeconomics, but I'm not going to be talking about it in this video because right now I just think that is enough. And so with that being said, guys, thanks again for watching. I'll see you guys in the next video. And so if you guys have any questions, make sure you guys comment down below, and I will be posting more videos about the future corrections that I think could end up happening for the general market, not just for AMC stock. And you guys already know that if it affects the general market also affects AMC stock. But again, that is around August to September to October. We are months out, and then maybe not. Maybe all of this is completely blown out of proportion, and maybe we will see some sort of market correction in 2022. In all honesty, guys, because no one knows what these index funds are going to end up doing. No one knows what the S&P 500 is going to end up doing. And so with that being said, again, thanks again for watching. I'll see you guys in the next video.